everyone, Hugh here coming to you from Britain's newest railway station. Oh. Ah, shit. Anyway, good morning, Hugh here coming to you from Birmingham New Street. Oh. Regardless of that, I have gotten up very early here in Birmingham this morning because today marks the first day of the reinstatement of passenger services on the Camp Hill line with 3 new train stations to boot. And well, we're going to be getting the 0627 WMR service to King's Norton. So without further ado, let's do it. So I'm now heading to the platform that our service will be departing from. One thing I have learned about Birmingham New Street, it has a zone colour coding system. So basically, the station's split up into 3 zones, I believe. Red, green and blue, and you just walk to your specific zone. And for platform 10A, where it says the King's Norton train is departing from, we've got to go to the green zone. So that's where I'm going. So here we are, here's the train that's going to be taking us down the line this morning. It's very hard to hear me because it's a diesel and also the ventilation noise in this station is super loud, but there's a train.
Right. There we go. We're off. Hello. Oh yeah.
Just casually mentioning I've got Michael C across from me, if you couldn't tell.
I've just got your reflection.
So we're now out of Birmingham New Street. I'm actually with a bunch of fellow creators, but I'll keep them off camera. You'll see it in other videos. So we're heading to the very first stop, which is Moseley Village. And well, we've got a lovely sunrise view of Birmingham today.
Oh my God, in a little under 10 minutes time.
So we've just branched off of the West Coast Main Line out of New Street. We're now on, I believe we're on the Camp Hill line now because there's no overhead electric wires, and at some point we'll cross the Chiltern Main Line near Bordesley. It's still quite a way to go until we get to the first stop, which is Moseley Village. But still, yeah. First commuter train on this line in a number of years. Of course there's been cross countries, but yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, that's the Chiltern.
Like the Manchester skyline and stuff.
Well, there's Bordesley.
There's Bordesley.
Soon to be closed down, unfortunately.
Yeah, so this is...
We're now approaching Moseley Village, the first stop along the line. And that's where most of us are getting off, I believe, except Michael, who's in front of me.
There we go.
Alright. Here we are. Welcome to Moseley Village. Well, everyone's getting off here. Okay, we have made it to the first station on the newly reopened line, Moseley Village. There's actually a lot of people on the platform heading back towards Birmingham because the inbound service is about to arrive. The first train from King's Norton, I believe. I've got about half an hour here until the train I'm going to take to King's Heath, so let's have an explore. Okay, Moseley Village already has its first drawback. They haven't fitted the bin bags. So this station is quite a typical layout. It's got 2 staircases that go up to the main street. It is step-free, obviously. There's lifts. I'll cut to a POV shot of that in a minute. But yeah, let's go outside and see what's around here, because this serves, of course, as the name implies, it serves the local community of Moseley. So I'm here outside Moseley Village and I've bumped into a new acquaintance of mine.
Oh,
Mr. Finn Jones.
I'm here.
Yeah.
How are you finding Moseley Village?
It's very nice so far. I mean, I've only had a very brief walk around.
I came on the first train from Pineapple Road, and this is basically a bigger version of it. It is serving more of a, it's in the name, right? It serves a village.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's just like a housing place area. It's on the outskirts of King's Norton. This is massive and lovely.
It's a very large area. I haven't actually had a proper time walking around here yet.
The one thing it's missing, and the one thing that Pineapple Road actually is missing, is a car park. There's only a drop-off area. That's it. But apart from that, it is a really, really nice station.
Yeah, very good. So, as I was talking with Finn in that previous clip, Moseley Village here has this massive kind of courtyard outside the station, because the station back here, there's just these two entrances to the two platforms and the lift shafts. And there's just this large open area. There's cycle parking, as you can see right there, and there's a drop-off zone, and there's just a large variety of things here at Moseley Village. So, very nice station. Also, someone has already put their bike there after all this time. So there are ticket machines here, although one of them's doing a... Does it actually work? No, and the other one's out of service. So that's a great start. So, as shown in that previous clip, this line isn't always a commuter passenger line, especially now. It's used by freight trains and, of course, cross-country trains that want to bypass the cross-city route between New Street and King's Norton. It's just, of course, today, the passenger commuter service has finally been restored. I have no idea if this line was ever actually closed down fully. I mean, I'll do this research when I'm done with filming, but yeah, so that's something. So, one notable absentee from all of the fun of a new station opening this morning is Riku Frederick. And well, in their honour, I'm going to test if the lift works. Okay.
Doors closing.
Oh my god, I only installed last year. That's something. Right.
Doors opening.
There you go. It works. So the train has apparently been delayed by congestion. Unsurprising, given that it's coming from Birmingham New Street, which is a complete mess on its own. So, yeah. Funnily enough, in the time that I stood outside the station, they fitted bin bags. Hooray! Thank you, Nat.
Well, sorry, which these are my local.
I mean, this is the reason why Cross City will never go back to normal. Just let me know. Yeah.
Welcome to King's Heath. So the word on the street is that there are goodie bags here at this station. Nick Badley just gets shots behind me. Yeah, apparently there's goodie bags at the station, so let's go and get them. Thank you very much. Okay, so we're now outside King's Heath. Goodie bag acquired. We'll look at the contents when I get back to the hotel at the end of the day. So I'm now back in the hotel after filming the full video, and here's the contents of the bag they gave me. So I think this was given at the Darlaston Willenhall opening as well, because it says Camp Hill Line and Black Country new stations, and it says 5 new railway stations in the West Midlands. So I think this might have been given at Darlaston and Willenhall as well. I don't know, I didn't go to them. And on the other side, it's got some nice art of all the different stations: Pineapple Road, King's Heath, Moseley Village, Darlaston, Willenhall, Birmingham, trains. So that's nice. And I think there's a corresponding sticker for each station. And, well, I have 2 of them, because I got this bag at King's Heath, but I was also able to find a sticker at Pineapple Road, so that's quite nice. There also is a voucher for local businesses, so I got the King's Heath one, so this is valid until the 30th of April this month. And it's for that bakery in King's Heath, which is great. When it comes to actual goodies, I got a Class 730 keyring, which is nice, though not quite on brand considering all the new stations are served by 196s, but anyway, that's pedantry at the end of the day. A West Midlands Rail Executive ticket holder, and a West Midlands Rail Executive pen. All great. So King's Heath does also have a cycle rack, as you can see here, and it does also have a step-free access. It's located on what seems to be a rather busy road. There's Valentine Road over there. But yeah, it's slightly different to Moseley Village in that there's not a massive area in front of the station. It's all just backed up over here. So a member of staff has just told me that this is the original station sign here at King's Heath. And they put it here on display from the previous station that existed here until, I want to say, the 1940s. So that's a very nice little feature here. So back here on the southbound platform towards King's Norton, keep getting them confused, King's Heath and King's Norton, but this is King's Heath station, and this is the platform for trains that go towards King's Norton. And well, they have actually fitted the bin bags here, which is it's good. I guess maybe because it's early in the morning, they just haven't bothered to put them in. And there's a bloke right down the end of the platform who's dressed up in a pineapple costume for reasons that will probably become apparent in a minute. And now, as a consolation, the train that I'm going to be taking back to, to Pineapple Road is now also running 1 minute late. I think it's probably just the reason for all this is that they're running into Birmingham New Street, which is just a complete mess. And yeah, they just get caught up in all the traffic, these little diesel services. So hopefully one day they can run it into Moore Street or Snow Hill instead, because honestly, I don't really think running it into New Street is the best idea.
Hopefully I wouldn't have to pay £5.60.
Turn the camera.
Have fun on the party train without me.
Hey! It's the guy that stole my haircut right there. So we're now on the third train of the day. I forgot to say how much I really like 196s. That's what we're on at the moment. Yeah, I like them. This is only like my 5th trip on them, but still, I like 196s. Sue me.
Oh yeah. Goodbye.
Alright, we're just arriving at Pineapple Road. This is where we say goodbye to Mr. Finn Jones, who's right there. Last time I saw him was yesterday at Edinburgh Airport. So there you go. So, we have now arrived at the station named after the fruit that doesn't belong on pizza. Don't fight me. So this station is slightly similar to Moseley Village in that it doesn't really have a new footbridge. It's just 2 paths to the 2 platforms with lift shafts onto the main road. Ironically, it's located right outside King's Heath city limits, borough, whatever it is. This is my first proper time in the West Mids, so I'm not familiar with the structure. I need Van Manio to help me. So this is the entrance to the Birmingham bound platform, and there is a pretty nice view of the Birmingham skyline. You can even see the University Clock Tower very, very faintly through the trees, but there it is. I don't know if this road is actually Pineapple Road. I guess it would be. I'd love to know why it's called Pineapple Road. Was there a fruit vendor on this street or something? I don't know.
It was bound to happen.
So I talked about someone who was wearing a pineapple costume earlier. Well, some person has actually brought a real pineapple here today, so the prophecy has been fulfilled. So Pineapple Road also has this open area right next to the Birmingham bound platform. There's the stairs on the other side. There's a ticket machine over there. There's ticket machines on both sides of the station, which is good. And there's a driving bay over there and a cycle rack. So once again, very similar facilities at all 3 stations. I've got to be honest, of the 3, because I've now been to all 3, this is probably my favourite, and not just because of the name and someone actually bringing a real pineapple, but it's just a nice serene location, and you go out there and you get a view of the Birmingham skyline. Very nice. Also up here, I think that could be the old footbridge from the previous station that was on this site, with the name of which escapes me because it wasn't called Pineapple Road. This is just the name they chose for the new station, but I think that might be the old footbridge, which is cool. Of course they've had to redo it because it needs to be step-free these days, but still, very nice. One sad thing to mention though about the machines, at least here, and I don't think it's the case with all WMR machines, bog roll ticket. I don't like that. is going on here? The screen has already broken. It's crazy. So in what seems to be my typical luck for this morning, the train out of here, which I'm going to get to King's Norton before going back to Birmingham, is running late as well. But yeah, this is Pineapple Road Station. One thing I forgot to say is that unfortunately there's a pretty strong manure smell at this station at the minute. Yeah, it's a bit stinky. These guys are just finding out. But it is a seriously nice station.
Please mind the gap between the train and the platform.
So that's the 3 new stations on the Camp Hill line. We're now going to head down to King's Norton to wrap up the video. Everyone's mixing up King's Heath and King's Norton today. It's ridiculous. But anyway, goodbye Pineapple Road.
Most trains pass the line. Eventually.
I'm basically deaf to that now.
I hope not.
I'm standing in the way, so.
And here we are. We've reached the end of the new service. Welcome to King's Norton. So I'm just going to travel back to Birmingham from here because I went here yesterday and there really isn't much to say here at King's Norton. So I will see you back at Birmingham New Street. So I am now back here at Birmingham New Street with the bizarre mechanical bull here that has some connection to late Birmingham rock singer Ozzy Osbourne. I have no idea. But regardless, that was the Camp Hill line containing the 3 newest stations in Britain. I really hope you enjoyed this video. It was a lot of fun to film, especially with some fantastic creative friends like Michael and Finn. And yeah, had a fantastic time. And yeah, thank you very much for watching, everybody. Big thanks to our supporters as always, and I will see you very soon. Bye-bye. Now, as a little addendum to the video, a lot of you in the comments might be asking, Hugh, you came to Birmingham for the Camp Hill line opening. That means you must have ridden the new West Midlands Metro Millennium Point extension, right? Well, I did, yesterday. In fact, here comes a tram with a Peaky Blinders livery heading toward Millennium Point, although it's such a short little line it didn't really warrant a video in total. But it is pretty close to my hotel, which is nice. But yeah, Birmingham's getting a lot of transport at the minute.